Welcome back. How's it
What's up,
going?
guys? Welcome back to KYTL Podcast. Sarah here with JP.
Yes, all the way from Texas today.
Dang, we are not on the same time zone right now.
We are not, but we're making it work just for y'all.
Yeah, we finally got the episode after like a month. I saw people commenting like, it's been like a month. What the heck?
Oh yeah, people have. Well, the day finally came, so I'm just happy it's around.
Did you like the episode?
Oh, I love the episode. I thought it was pretty solid. The boot was not that exciting just
Yeah.
because for the moment Las Olas went to tribal or like they lost the challenge. It was pretty done and done that like regardless of like it was very straightforward a Becky vote. Felt
Yeah,
like yeah. Well, it felt like last time they went to tribal, if she had not been immune, it would have been Becky, and this time it felt since she wasn't immune, it had to be her.
yeah, I noticed that the episode focused more on Citrine, even though they weren't the ones going to tribal. They had most of the screen time.
Yeah, there's a lot of fallout from last week. Grant
Mhm.
decided to, I guess, be himself.
Also, Francois just like meddling with. I feel like Francois is really trying to prepare for a little tribe swap.
Oh
I
my
was,
god.
I loved the scene where he just like had his mask on and they were sitting outside and he was talking to Wilby, Olivia, and Hayden, acting like the mafia boss. He was literally like, "You guys came to me," and like asking like I don't know. He was literally acting like the mafia mob boss.
But
Or
like
no. That's not what the Godfather. That's what I
the
mean.
Godfather, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. They're like each making a plea to like for him to give them like immunity for that week, and he's like, wait, but like, no, I need more than that. I need to know your game plan because then you'll be down to vote.
I know he was trying to act all scary, but then he was wearing a Disneyland shirt. This did not help the vibe. But I thought it was funny how Wilby and Hayden kind of lied to him about like what they saw at Pacific's Rim.
Oh, I thought that
And
was so smart.
Yeah, it was super smart, and he totally bought it.
Easy. It was very. I think it's funny because Emma now lied about her, I guess, advantage twice. It's like layers of lies.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
she
like,
hasn't actually told anyone what it actually is, but Hayden told her what
yeah,
his
so now
was.
she's just telling the truth, I guess, quote unquote. In
Yeah.
reality, they're both lying, and therefore it makes it slightly more believable that what they're saying is correct. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I also wanted to comment on like I loved the music and the challenge. Like
It
yeah. I thought it really added to it. Like it just made it more fun and lighthearted.
was stuck in my head all day. I took a nap in the car. Yeah, I was coming back from College Station, and the only thing that was buzzing through my mind was bad reputation.
Yeah.
So I thought the challenge was pretty solid too. He didn't really go into what was in those chunky dunks, right?
Yeah, I wish that he had put like the ingredients of each one on the screen. I think he said what it was for one of them, but I was really curious what was in them. I'm sure it was terrible.
Irisa going into the trash.
Ew!
Why?
Tommy's face. When I panted Tommy's face, he was like,
It's like, why? Well, why would you do that? And then she went back for more nasty.
Yeah, I'm really I'm really interested to talk to Becky because I just feel like she was doomed from the start, and I want to get her opinion on everything.
Yeah, it felt like she had a bad draw or
Yeah.
made a bad first impression, which is kind of a bummer. It didn't seem like she had a lot of, I guess, support, and it felt like she was pretty out of the loop pretty much the entire time. It sounds like she did have eventually solid allies just by default because they were all out of the loop of Sky and Mariah, but ultimately they weren't able to do anything with that support because Francois meddling mostly, and the fact that the other five were pretty lock solid.
Yeah, and even within that, Mariah wasn't really trusting her that much. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested to see why Becky felt more solid about Francois than Mariah, even though Mariah was technically more on Becky's side than he ever was.
Right.
Yeah. Should I go send her the link and
Yeah. Let's bring her on.
Okay.
I need to figure out where I need to be.
Becky.
How's it going? Welcome. Season 2 legend. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm stoked to talk to you.
I know.
I'm really excited.
I wanted to get into a better spot. Hold on. Sorry.
I gotta get the setup.
Is it better to wait? Hold
on. Oh yeah, there we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's like your confessional spot.
I know it is. Is there a pile of clothes in the back? I want to cover them.
Yeah, you're covering it. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Perfect. What's up, Becky? How have you been since season 2?
Well, it's been a lot of coloring, a lot of collaging, a lot of school. Just graduated, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, been good. Been enjoying it. Been loving San Diego since season 2.
How's you stayed down here? Oh.
What's up?
You stayed down here?
Yes. Been in San Diego the whole time.
How's Mr. Mosby? Wait, did he ever make a appearance in season 2?
Yes.
He did, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
He was in lots of season 2 confessionals. He's good. He's 3.
Wow.
4? 3.
How long do they live?
Like 20 years.
Oh wow. He's like a baby.
Yeah. He'll be around for a long time. He's shedding right now, so he's super
How can you tell me a little bit about, speaking of your confessionals, I need to know about your slut hat.
What about it?
The hat that just said slut on it.
Oh.
Do you still have it?
I do.
It was amazing.
So rough now. It has like beer stains all over it. And I have retired it. Since retired the slut hat. It's been on the shelf for over a year now, so.
Well, it caught my eye. I loved it.
Yeah, that hat is definitely a good one. It was an SDSU brand, so I had to support.
Oh, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
What was it like watching the episode back and seeing it all go down?
So here's the funny part. So I watched episode 1 and I was like, oh, like this is so fun to like see everything back and to kind of be in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, I just like certain scenes, it's not that I like didn't enjoy watching it back. It was just like I didn't enjoy getting like shit on.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't really, at this stage in my life, I don't really resonate too much with the person I was back then. So I cringe watching every scene of myself. Like I'm just like, I can't. But 2, like the things that people are saying about me, it's almost like word, like agreed, so it's a little bit difficult. So I didn't even watch episode 3, to be honest, because I was like, like my pride, like if I watch myself get voted out, I'm just gonna replay it in my head every second. But I did like do some digging on like the situation and what was happening at the time. So I mean, and I remember like thinking like I had sort of a bearing in the show. Like I remember being like, oh, this is like going somewhere. Like I have alliances. And then after episode 2, like that whole situation happening and me just kind of feeling like all by myself, or at least thinking I had Francois, like that whole situation just felt so like, I don't know, I felt like the weird kid in school who's like getting picked on. Like everyone's kind of clicking up and they were like, yeah, I don't know, and there was even a scene where I was like, I need to make friends. And it was like funny because I remember feeling so like new kid on the block, like trying to fit in somewhere, and I just don't think I ever got that opportunity. And to be fair, I feel like I was very misunderstood at the time for like who I was and what I was trying to do. And I did make some stupid game decisions. Fair. I should not have been like, I know everything and I'm gonna make fake idols and I'm gonna do this, that, the other. And I also shouldn't have been so upfront with my personality and who I was, and like so I guess detached from strategy when I needed to be, and then attached too hard when I should have been pulling back.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like the edit didn't even show how big of a Survivor fan you actually are. Like, you're a huge Survivor fan.
Yeah, it kind of breaks my heart because I wish that I was shown as like more strategic, but I feel like my edit is like la la la, like she's silly, like, and you know, fucking around. But I truly wanted to show strategy, and I feel like I never got the chance to really show people why I was there.
Then what did you I guess what what made you want to actually go on and do this college survivor season? Um, like why
So
were you there?
such a great story. I was in class talking about how much I love Survivor in like a random class in at SDSU, and someone came up to me, Moose came up to me after class. He was in my class and he was like, "Okay, I knew you, but I didn't know you were a Survivor fan, and that's super sick. I'm doing College Survivor. Like, would you be interested?" And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" And he sends me the information, and I immediately was like, this is for me. These are my people. This is like a group of people that would understand like my interests and my hobbies. And like, are you kidding? I want to do the challenges and be around, like, have fun. And so I was super interested in just meeting everybody and like being around a community of people who liked the same stuff as me was super, super fun. And everyone was just like family immediately, except for maybe not super immediately. It was more like Survivor circle people, like cast was like lesser so on that list, but crew and like people that were around really treated me like family at the beginning, and then I grew to love people that were on the cast also.
So going in, you only knew Moose. You didn't know anyone else,
No,
right?
I didn't know anyone else, and it was super intimidating, especially like with girls. Like I'm so awkward. Like I am not like the girl that can go up to other girls and not feel intimidated. That like I feel like I always am. I don't know. I was super awkward, but I really enjoyed like how fun everybody on the cast was and how silly and goofy everyone. Some comment that I read, it was like, this cast is so unserious. I was like, yeah, we are fair, because like everyone was just having a good time, and I don't think we really realized like in San Diego Survivor at least like how strategy played into it. Like we were all just kind of having fun at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think you would have felt better if you were placed on the other tribe? Or like, do you think you would have done better on the other tribe?
Oh, it's so interesting to think about, because knowing some of the people on the other tribe really well now, I'm like, I wish, but also I don't know. Like they had a lot of really strong personalities on that other tribe,
Yeah.
and I have a semi-strong personality, so I was like, oh, like maybe that would have been good, but maybe it would have been catastrophic and like terrible. And I feel like some of the girls on which I love the girls on the other tribe, but some of them are just super headstrong, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know that I would be able to get my point across, but I didn't do that in my current tribe either. So who knows? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, I guess.
Now, it seemed like once that group of 5 people, including I guess kind of including Francois, formed on your Las Olas, you, Mariah, and Sky pretty much were just sitting ducks.
I had no idea, like, until it was far too late that like was even happening. And I'm so pissed. Like that was my biggest mistake, was not like playing fast enough. because I feel like I dragged my feet a little bit, and that like I knew that once I found out about that group, like, which I guess I didn't really know. I guess I still thought maybe I had a chance, but knowing, like, hearing rumors about that group being a thing is like, at that point you're not in the majority, and you hope for like a tribe swap or something, anything that would happen. But I don't know. It got really serious really fast, and I guess I didn't realize people were playing like super hard on day one, and I thought my one or two alliances would be fine that early. Like, I was like, oh, I made a couple friends, like that's fine right now, but it was not.
Why did y'all pick Reese to go after rather than anybody else out of that group?
I don't know. Thinking back on it, I really wish it wasn't him that I would have targeted, because maybe somebody that was also a sitting duck to target would have been better to deflect the attention off myself. Like, going after a big fish was probably not sick in that scenario, but I guess I didn't know how down bad I was. So that was my bad. But like maybe going after like Mariah or Sky, like any other person that wasn't like in the, or honestly like Arissa was like fucking pissed and did not like me. So maybe I should have gone after her, and like that would have just made more sense for the plot. But who knows? I feel like that's another thing, like the misunderstood. Like I feel like I would have gotten along with a lot of people on the like majority alliance, and I feel like I would have had like a lot of good thoughts on what they were doing, but they kind of saw me as like either fucking around or being like overly, I don't even know. I guess I just figured everyone was a super huge Survivor fan, that everyone would be open about it. Like in my personal life, I'm very open with everything. I'm an oversharer at heart, so I was just like oversharing, and it was not the right situation to be doing that.
So you think you talking about how big of a Survivor fan you are kind of cost you the game here?
And some other things,
Yeah.
but I feel like in the edit, at least, that is what they were like. Why would you say? Sorry about the plane. They were like, why would you say, that you've watched every season and that you want to play really hard and whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I don't remember saying that, but I'm for sure like totally would something I would say, So
Yeah. Wait, so who was your number one at this point? Was it Francois? And why was he your number one?
So funny. So I feel like Francois was like my first friend. Like he came up to me, and from what I knew about like the current social structure was like, I want to get in with the people that knew, they all went to high school together, that knew each other before this. Like if I can get in with one, maybe they'll all like take me under their wing. So at that point, like that was my decision making. Like I'm gonna get in with people who have the most friends. And I knew Francois knew Emma and Nyla and Sky and Magnuson. So I was like, oh, like I'm gonna do that and do that. And I also feel like he's an outgoing person. I'm an outgoing person, and like he's kind of goofy and fun, and like also a little cocky, and like I like that. If I'm gonna pick somebody, I want them to be as confident in themselves as I am in myself. So
that's fair.
What was the relationship you had, if any, with Mariah? It seemed like that was both of y'all's blind spots in the game, and in terms of, I guess, working together, maybe starting some sort of uprising on Los Olos.
I don't know what. Okay, like this is what I hate about the society in general. I don't know what about it. Like we just didn't speak to each other. Like the energy was off. Like either she was intimidated by me, either I was intimidated by her. Something, there was a look, maybe some body language. Like we just didn't click. And when I don't click with somebody, like it sounds bad, but like that's not where my energy is going. And if I click with somebody else, like that's where I'm going to be. And so silly of me to not be like, okay, that's a member of my tribe that that is over there, in sort of some scary territory also. Like I need to pick up on that. But this is the hill I will die on. Like if you take nothing else from what I have to say, I think I was so much more worried about making friends and joining the friend group and like this, like I wanted to be part of this like circle. And I feel like I lost myself in that. And I was much more worried about making friends and having a good time and like hanging out and meeting all these cool people than I was about playing the game. And if I could do it all over again, I would play the game and, worry about the friendships later. But I didn't. So
it's honestly a really good message and I guess ideology to go at it. And if that made you lose a couple days in the game, then you know what, so be it. You made all these great friends anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because I say, like, if I did it all over again, I would play, and I would, but I don't regret anything. Like, I love the relationships I made. I know that some of the friendships that I made, they will be in my life forever. And I don't think that if the game went differently, that would maybe be the case. So I'm happy it turned out the way that it did. But at first it did feel like, oh my God, like I squashed this super sick opportunity and I got voted out like super early, like I was so mad at myself. And I think I still am, which is why I don't really want to watch it. Cause I'm like, what? But I also feel like this season is just really different than I expected. Like the people in this season, it just very different than I expected it. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it like later after everything's come out and after everyone's reactions are out. But right now I'm just like happy to be a part of it and happy to have like experienced it.
Yeah. I think some people in the episode were talking about like your challenge performance, which was the chugging one. Do you remember what was in the thing that you had to chug?
I remember it was like relish and like some sort of meat and then like a sweet, maybe like an ice cream, like some.
Ew.
Okay, something about me is I'm incredibly picky. Like I also don't like chug things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a sipper. I'm a slow sipper.
Yeah.
And that challenge I was like, look guys, like I'm gonna suck. And I told them, I'm like, I am the worst possible person for this challenge.
But you couldn't set out.
But it is what it is. If I knew I would have gotten voted out after that challenge, then like maybe I would have tried. But I don't know that I would have been able to do any better. Like I fully cannot do that shit. Like
I'm also a slow stepper, so I feel you.
Watching the people around me get that nasty ass shit down their throat, I was like, y'all are for real insane. Like I could not do that. Even if there were $1 million on the line, like I'm not doing
that. It's a skill, that for sure. Then let's see. If I guess you were to come back, is there anything else you might theoretically change about your game or like go into it?
Well, like I sort of touched on earlier, I'd play really hard. And not take any time for granted. Like really respect the experience. And soak in like every last second. Because I feel like I didn't realize that during the week, like when we're not meeting up, like really soak in that time too and really enjoy like the whole time. And like being like scared shitless and running around and like it's all supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. So I mean, I would really enjoy it, and I'd play my ass off, and maybe make more friends really fast. Like, jump into the game as fast as possible. Day one, make a majority alliance on the tribe, because like that's the one thing I didn't do is make a majority alliance fast. So that would be my number one.
Who from season 2 are like your best friends today? Like who did you?
Literally, it's so funny because Wilby and I didn't play together at all.
Uh-huh.
But like she is one of my closest friends. Like we hang out all the time. Sky and I are close. It's so funny because like a lot of season 2, oh, Moose and I are still close. A lot of season 2 is still around, which I think is so fun. Like still hangs out, still does stuff together, still lives in San Diego. And we haven't like parted ways for the most part. There are some people that I don't see ever, but I wish them the best, you know.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what's happening with their lives. But a lot of people have stayed around, which I think is really cool.
Well, let's see. I don't have any other questions for you, Becky. So unless you have something to add, or Sarah has any more, it was really lovely talking to you.
I don't have much to say other than I love Survivor, and this has been a great time. But yeah, that's it.
Wait, who were your favorite CBS Survivor players? I know this is such a hard question.
Like Parvati and Boston Rob, like I know this are basic, but like those are up there for sure. Rudy.
Oh.
I love him. Like when he died, like
I know.
Rudy, like I love Rudy so fucking much. Yeah, those have to be my top 3.
Iconic. Rudy's an iconic pick.
Like what? I love him so much, and him and Richard's relationship. Like
I know.
I love it.
His one-liners are incredible.
I know. He reminds me so much of my dad, just being like an old, like hilarious person. Like I love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Are you gonna watch the rest of the season?
Eventually, yes. Yes, I will.